My first gig as a spirit medium. I'm sitting all spruced up in a nice suit and tie on a platform in front of an audience of about 50 people. They have come to see a demonstration which will either confirm or challenge what they believe is true about the mysteries of life. In a moment, when the woman who has arranged all of this finishes her introductions, I will be the first up, the icebreaker, so to speak, for the main stars of the evening, for this is my first public appearance as a spirit medium, and as the apprentice, I'm the warm-up act. I can feel perspiration dripping everywhere. My tongue is sticking to the roof of my mouth, my heart's pounding, and I suddenly need to pee. I'm about to do something which, up until this moment, I have only managed with my fellow students in the training room, guided by my teacher and mentor. And to say that I'm extremely nervous is an understatement. Polite applause ripples through the room as I'm introduced. My heart begins to hammer inside my chest and my legs feel like rubber as I stand up and make my way to the podium. As I silently look over the sea of faces below, gazing up at me, I see a woman about 3 rows back with a slightly bored expression on her face. Standing beside her, I see, projected by my mind's eye, another woman. She's tall, slim, blonde, wearing a 70s style miniskirt, which is in striking contrast to her maturity. She's bent over and shouting at the top of her voice, "Why don't you ever listen to me?" over and over into the sitting woman's left ear, who clearly can't or doesn't want to hear. In the blink of an eyelid, I know exactly what is going on with this little display. The blonde is her deceased sister, lung cancer, I'm informed, who has been trying to tell her still living sister that her trying to avoid making mistakes or experiencing failures and heartaches in her life by choosing not to live is not what life is about. That instead, success, happiness and fulfillment come with a price tag, often in the form of failure, mistakes and heartache. I'm starting to explain all of this to the bored-looking woman after describing her dead sister and the illness which killed her. No sooner had I begun to deliver her dead sister's message than she started shouting to me, red-faced and angry, "You're wrong! That's not my sister! My sister was a brunette, not a blonde!" Boom! In an instant, my self-confidence melted away like ice cream on a sunny day at the beach. I'm stunned into silence. I have only one idea what to do next, and that's run away. Hide from this public humiliation and shame. This was not what my first public appearance was supposed to end as, total failure. I feel a gentle tap on my arm as one of the stars steps up and takes over and proceeds to show me exactly how to deal with moments like this. He simply ignored Mrs. Angry and selected someone else in the audience to work with. But for me, the following 80 minutes just ground slowly on as I began to reflect on the many, many conundrums in my own life, and in my quest for understandings and answers to questions about them, had finally brought me to this place, only to discover that I was wrong. I wondered that what I had come to believe was true about life and living was not. That and many, many other questions haunted me as the show around me just carried on. And I was slowly drowning in my own sea of confusion, humiliation, and sense of total failure. When the evening finally draws to a close and the applause finally fades away, I join the rest of the performers and the event organisers at a buffet in an anteroom. The audience are also there because, if you like, the food was part of the ticket price. But I'm feeling so completely dejected. I just want to get out of that place as fast as I can. I'm heading for the door when a hand grabs my arm. It's her, the woman who was the cause of my public humiliation, Mrs. Angry. Hasn't she done enough? Does she want to put the boot in now that I'm down and out? I'm so sorry, she said. I know you're new to all of this. That's why I just had to stop you and let you know right away that you'd just made a mistake. You see, my sister only dyed her hair blonde. She was really a brunette. A huge wave of relief and sheer bliss swept over me. I was right. Everything I saw and heard from the blonde in the miniskirt had been absolutely correct after all. At last, I now had real proof from a complete stranger that there really is much more to life and living than any of us could possibly imagine. And now, all of those years of fear that I might be actually losing my mind, the self-doubt and apprehension were finally behind me. I knew that this was the beginning of something really magical in my life. I also had been given 2 lessons in life of incalculable value. Lesson number 1. Have unshakable trust in your own intuition. And lesson 2, as they say in Yorkshire, there's nought so queer as folk. Thank you for listening. Be alive, my friends, on purpose.